Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new, my name is Rose, and on this channel we are focusing on budgeting and debt repayment. So in today's video, I'm excited to share what my 2025 saving plan will look like with you all. So before I get into the video though, I just want to acknowledge that I've been missing for a few days because I just thought that I needed to take a few days away to clear my mental capacity. I needed a break. I needed to reflect on where I am currently and where I needed to be, and some things that I needed to change personally as well as within my spiritual life. So I really needed a break to refresh, to recuperate, and then to come back and see how I can really focus on building this YouTube channel and continue on this journey of debt repayment. So with that being said, let's get into the video. So my main goal for this year is to rebuild my emergency fund. Last year we had to basically wipe out our emergency fund that we were building due to some unforeseen circumstances. But guess what? Where there's life, there's hope. So I am now focusing on rebuilding, but I'm rebuilding with a twist. All right, so I have three main savings categories to help me stay on track and help me to stay motivated. So let's dive in. You are looking at the tracker that I created, and I'm going to be targeting my saving goals quarterly, because I need to see how our finances is going, where we are at the end of each quarter, then reassess and to see how we can move forward into meeting the goals that we have, or if we haven't met the goals for the quarter, what we can do, how we can plan moving into the next quarter. All right, so let me just call up because these are and focus on quarter one, January, February, and March savings goal. All right, so I am trying to be intentional, and with being intentional, I am also trying to build a steady pace to preserve my peace of mind. So I'm going to be doing small savings to meet the goal, or to see how best I can develop a savings habit, if it's even $10. But with the amount of debt that we have, plus our basic living, I know it's going to be challenging, but I also know that doing a little at a time, it will count as progress. All right, so for my emergency fund, my goal for quarter one is going to be $500. And I want to achieve this by March 31st of 2025. All right. Monthly goal is going to be $500 divide by 3. So I need to save $166.67 each month to be able to achieve this $500 by the end of March. All right. So I'm trying to start this goal fresh. So I'm going to put 0 as the starting balance here. So now that I have my emergency fund goal, my target date, and my monthly goal amount, I'm thinking that I don't want to be using this fund to cover anything that is not emergency. So for this specific fund, if it has nothing to do with extreme emergencies, such as major car repairs, where we have to probably come up with the co-payment for our insurance policy, or let's say medical, some form of hospitalization, or even job loss, then it will not be coming from this fund. So that brings me to my unexpected non-emergency fund. This fund is for those expenses that I'm going to be calling not extreme emergencies, but they still need to be addressed, like the last minute travels, probably replacing some appliances in the house, or just supplement the monthly budget when our income is low, or just stuff like that are not extreme emergencies. And for this fund, for quarter one, I'm going to be setting that at $500 as well. So the target date is going to be 3/31/2025, and the monthly goal is going to be, all right, so I'm starting out the unexpected non-emergency fund with $400 that's coming from my debit card cashback rewards for 2024. So I've cashed out that money and I have it in the account that I designated for unexpected non-emergency fund. So that starting balance is $400. Now for my debit card cashback rewards, I accumulate $30 each month because that's the debit card that I use to do the bulk of our spending, which is to pay our rent, grocery shopping, and any utility that can be paid with the debit card. Then I'll use that card to make the payment so I can get the cashback rewards. So each month I get $30. So I have $100 here. So my monthly goal for January, February, and March is going to be $100 divided by 3. So $33.33. So once I cash out my $30 each month, then I'll just add the extras to make it up to the monthly goal amount. However, if I see where I can save more, then I will do so. But in the meantime, I'm keeping it as is because I also need to work on the emergency fund. All right. And as it relates to the unexpected non-emergency fund, I believe that this approach where I'm separating what I'm going to be classifying as extreme emergencies as opposed to those that are not extreme emergencies is a good idea, because setting aside money for these non-urgent things will help me to avoid dipping into my emergency fund so it won't be as depleted as I ended 2024 with, because I ended 2024 with less than $300. So separating these two, I believe, is a good idea moving into 2025. All right, so as I mentioned, medical, I have a separate card for medical that I'm going to be using for prescriptions. I'm going to be using for co-pays and all of that. So I already loaded with the $1,200, and you will see more about that when I'm doing my expense tracking, because I'm doing that tracking as well. So that's my flexible spending account. All right. So moving on to sinking funds, I'm going to be having several sub accounts under sinking funds. Now, the main account that I'm going to be focusing on when it comes to sinking fund for this quarter is car maintenance sinking fund. And this car maintenance sinking fund, I'm going to be budgeting $500 for quarter one as well. Target date is going to be 3/31/2025, and the monthly is going to be 166.67. So I am not going to be starting car maintenance with a balance. So in 2024, when I set up my savings with the savings plan, I had a car maintenance account. But when I closed out 2024, what I did was to delete all those savings bucket from the account and restructure it the way that I'm thinking about restructuring it right now. So all the money that was in all those little buckets in my Ally Bank, I just put them over into my main emergency fund account. So I had several little accounts with like several buckets with $30, $35, $45. So I just remove all those funding and put it into the emergency fund account. So I'm going to be just starting the car maintenance fund with $0. And remember now, I mentioned earlier that the money that's already in the account from 2024, when it comes to the emergency fund, I'm not counting that as the starting balance, because I'm thinking I need to start afresh for 2025. All right. So still wondering if it's a good idea to start afresh for the emergency fund, even though there is that amount that's in there. But let me just continue as I'm planning. And if anything, then I'll just make some adjustments. So now How do I really plan to fund the car maintenance sinking fund monthly, as well as the emergency fund? Because this is going to be, let me see, 166.67 times 2. This is going to be $333.34 monthly. All right. So, okay, I don't know what it's going to be looking like for January in terms of funding both the car maintenance and emergency fund account as it is, but let's see how it's going to be funding. Now, for February and March, I am banking on overtime from my husband's job to clear these or to make these two saving goals become a reality by the end of March, as well as any unexpected income that comes in. I'll also be adding it to the savings goals. So that's what I'm going to be doing moving forward with these savings goals. So my main focus on the sinking funds is going to be car maintenance, starting with $500. So back to school, I am not going to be starting back to school savings in quarter 1. For birthdays, nothing in quarter 1 as well. So these are going to be zeros. Or I can just delete these from quarter 1 since I'm not focusing on these. All right, I can do that. All right, so my savings goal for quarter 1 is $1,500. All right, and again, that's broken down into my emergency fund, which is my extreme emergencies, covering anything such as major car repairs, hospitalization, things of that sort. And I'm targeting $500 with a monthly savings goal of $166.67. That's approximately $167. For my unexpected non-emergency fund, I'm starting that account with $400. I'll be adding $30 that I'm getting from my debit card cashback rewards monthly. So I just need to add an extra, let's say $4 each month to meet this goal. All right. Car maintenance is extremely important. I know that my husband's vehicle is going to be needing service soon, so I really need to work on car maintenance. So I'm even going to be prioritizing this car maintenance fund over the emergency fund, because like I said, what I don't want is to start the emergency fund and having to be going in, because it demotivates me when I'm building an emergency fund and I have to keep taking out. So I'm going to be prioritizing this car maintenance fund right here, so that as soon as the check engine light is on, then we have the money to take the car to the dealership to get it taken care of. So that's it for my quarter 1 savings plan. And like I said, the key to my savings plan is to break these goals down into smaller bites where it's more digestible for me. If I see where I am not going to be meeting the goal at the end of quarter 1, then I'll just roll it over into quarter 2. As a matter of fact, these 3 goals, my main goals, are going to be continually rolling over into the next quarters, because $500 is definitely not a full emergency fund. So these are going to be continually rolling over. For sinking funds, I'll be adding other buckets as I go. All right. The key is to build a plan that can help me to be consistent and intentional about savings. All right. I need to find a pace that I'm comfortable at to avoid feeling overwhelmed and to maintain my peace of mind. So even if it's $10, if it's $5, that's what I'm going to be putting to my saving buckets, because every bit adds up over time. So if I can't meet the 166.67, I'll just put what I can afford to put until I'm able to put more. All right. I hope this overview inspires you to create your own savings plan, your own strategy, and make sure that it's within your affordability, because we have to be realistic with these plans that we're creating. And that is why I'm breaking down mine in quarters so I can reassess. Remember also that the key is to stay consistent, stay motivated. All right. So thank you all for watching be sure to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell so you'll be notified when I upload another video. All right, so let us continue on our financial journey. Let us continue on our quest for debt freedom and financial stability. All right, so until next time, happy saving.